Today, it's widely known that Batman, despite his current dislike of firearms, used guns during his early Detective Comics adventures. But did you know that his pal Superman also used a gun early in his career? Well, a ray gun, to be exact. A crypto-ray gun. And did you know that Superman's ray gun was produced as a film projector toy, making it one of the earliest pieces of Superman merchandise? And did you know that advertisements for this toy would mention Kryptonite years before it actually debuted in the stories? Superman's crypto ray gun is a fascinating bit of golden age weirdness. Let me tell you about it. When Superman debuted in April 1938 in the pages of Action Comics 1, his popularity took off like the rocket that brought Kal-El from Krypton to Earth. Superman would have a radio show in 1940. In 1941, Fleischer Studios, the makers of the Popeye cartoons, would start making Superman theatrical cartoons. Superman would get what was arguably the first action figure in the form of a wooden doll in 1939. This doll was created by Ideal Toys, the teddy bear company. You know what a teddy bear is, right? Teddy bears were created by Morris Machtum based on a widely circulated story of President Theodore Roosevelt refusing to shoot an adorable bear cub while on a hunt. Teddy's bear, later called Teddy Bear, was a huge success, and Machtum used that success to create Ideal Toys, which mass-produced teddy bears. In the late 1930s, Ideal sought to expand to making toys with materials harder than cotton and felt. In 1939, Ideal created a doll of Dorothy Gale because Wizard of Oz was the hit film of the year, and of course, they made a doll of Superman. You can draw a direct line from Superman to Teddy Roosevelt and the Wizard of Oz, and I love that you can. Man, I miss how deeply embedded Superman used to be in Americana. Nowadays, he's less an American icon and more a corporate icon. But I digress. The Superman doll was, of course, a huge success, and DC, at the time called National Comics, looked to create more Superman merchandise. In 1941, they struck a deal with Daisy, a company which was known for making air rifles and BB guns, most notably the 1938 Red Ryder BB gun, prominently featured in that perennial holiday classic, A Christmas Story. So you can connect Superman not only to the Wizard of Oz and Teddy Roosevelt, but Red Ryder BB guns. Can you see why I like the character so much? Superman's crypto ray wasn't the first ray gun Daisy produced. In 1934, they created the Buck Rogers XZ-31 rocket pistol, the hit toy of the 1934 Christmas season. It retailed for just 50 cents. All it did was make a popping sound, and kids loved it. The XZ-31 rocket pistol was such a hit that Daisy created the XZ-35 rocket pistol in 1935, a smaller version of the XZ-31 nicknamed the Wilma Deering after Buck Rogers' girlfriend. Also produced in 1935 was the XZ-38 atomic disintegrator. The XZ-38 not only made a popping sound, but you see that little hump on top of the barrel. Age has clouded the windows, but if you pull the trigger, the chamber sparks. The XZ-38 made lights and sounds, a pretty good deal for a toy from the middle of the Great Depression. So, Wizard of Oz, Teddy Roosevelt, Red Ryder BB guns, and Buck Rogers. Don't mind me, I'm just keeping score. Now let's take a look at Superman's crypto ray. I've got some good and bad things to say about the aesthetics of the crypto ray. I like the circles on the end of the barrel. It reminds me a little of the XZ-38, and the Superman engraving is cool. The way he's reaching out reminds me of Art Deco statues. But the extended trigger coupled with a lack of a guard looks awkward, and the bulky grip and relatively featureless body makes the whole thing look like a hunk of carved wood. It suggests being a cool sci-fi device more than it resembles one. Superman's crypto ray was different from Daisy's earlier Buck Rogers ray guns. It didn't spark, and it didn't make noise. So what did it do? Well, it showed pictures. That's right. It was a toy projector. And that's the use of the toy in the accompanying fiction as well. It's not a weapon. It uses crypto rays to take, store, and project images. I'm not sure exactly why Daisy and National Comics decided to make the crypto ray a non-violent tool. It could be that they wanted Superman's toy to occupy a different niche than Buck Rogers' ray guns, so that the two products wouldn't compete with each other. But it could be that they just thought it was weird to have Superman shoot people. Batman shooting people isn't all that bad because, hey, the gangsters are a credible threat to him. They can shoot back and kill him, but bullets just bounce off Superman. Him shooting gangsters would just make him look like a creep. The crypto ray is a video camera, basically, and while that might not seem like such a nifty sci-fi device, remember we're talking about 1941. Video cameras are, to say the least, a little ways off. Of course, calling the crypto ray a video camera is the simple way of explaining how the crypto ray gun works. Ads for the toy get Superman himself to explain how it works to the prospective buyer, and he's, well, rather verbose.
Unknown to criminals, I am constantly gathering pictures of their activities. These are stored in the picturizing chamber of my crypto ray gun. Then, as Clark Kent, I am able to flash pictures of crimes right on the courtroom wall, establishing evidence of guilt beyond a reasonable doubt.
So the crypto ray is sort of like Superman's body cam. I think that's a neat idea. You know, it's kind of silly how so many superheroes don't film their actions. Think of how many gangsters Commissioner Gordon has had to let go over the years because all Batman hands him is a bunch of battered thugs tied to a light post. Hold on. Did Superman just tell the reader that he's Clark Kent? Whoa, that's quite the show of trust, Superman.
This is what happens inside the crypto ray gun when I press the crypto contact lever. Crypto beams are supplied by the crypto beam generator and are fused with radioactive impulses broadcast by the planet Krypton and picked up by the crypto wave accumulating antennae.
Well, there are a few ways to interpret what Superman just told us. There might be an automated power station floating among the ruins of Krypton, forever broadcasting energy to the last son of Krypton's weird video camera. The other is that Krypton's rubble radiates crypto waves across the universe, and Superman's crypto ray gun taps into this ambient radiation. Either way, it's a weird way to explain how something built to take photo evidence works.
Chronology control lever arranges pictures in their proper order on positive film. As fusion of crypto beams and crypto wave impulses is completed and crypto contact is made, the combined force passes through crypto tube, which concentrates it. Crypto tube then projects jumbled crypto image rays through two superscopic rectifier lenses. As this happens, all rays except those necessary to reproduce image are removed by crypto ray filter tandem. Remaining crypto rays carry enlarged image to screen or wall. Image brightness is determined by adjusting superscopic lens carriage.
Goodness, is that enough crypto? Someone is going to be looking for videos on Bitcoin and will be very confused to find this video in their recommendations. Say, do you think out there in the multiverse there's a version of Superman whose powers didn't develop to their full potential and he became a gadgeteer like Batman? Instead of bat this and bat that, he uses Krypton technology and goes crypto this and crypto that. He flies with a crypto belt, lifts heavy objects with crypto glove, and of course, captures evidence with the crypto ray gun. Call me, DC. We'll do lunch. Now let me return your attention to the advertisement. You see that big red box? It says the gun is made out of Kryptonite, and that's very interesting, because this is the first time in all of Superman media that the term Kryptonite is used. In this case, the term is clearly meant to be taken as strange metal from Krypton and not a metal that poisons Superman. Kryptonite, in its familiar green and poisonous incarnation, would first appear in the Superman radio show in 1943, where it was, according to an anecdote, created by the writers as an excuse to give Superman's voice actor Bud Collyer some much-needed vacation time. Someone could easily sub in for Superman grunting and groaning and muttering, "Oh, I'm so weak," in Bud's place. And Bud deserved the vacation time. The Adventures of Superman was 2,088 15-minute episodes broadcast 3 times a week without reruns. Kryptonite would make its way into the comics in 1949. The Superman of the comics made it through World War II without ever seeing a green crystal. Now, let's take a closer look at the packaging. First, I have to ask, could they not find a better image of Superman and Lois? He doesn't look like he's rescuing her. He looks like he's kidnapping her. Anyway, the packaging says that the gun comes with 7 image sets, and the images were likely taken from the comics. If they weren't from the comics, if the art of the gun was original, they would constitute extremely rare Superman media, potentially lost forever. I doubt any gun nowadays comes with usable film. I have an idea of where some of the scenes are from. It'll be a topic of another video one day, but let's talk about the scene indicated on your right. Superman teaches you how his crypto-ray gun works. I have no doubt where this scene comes from. The crypto-ray gun appeared in the comics once, and only once, in Action Comics 32. You might have expected the toy to have been shilled a little more vigorously, but it was, in fact, a one-shot gadget. The Superman story in Action Comics 32 doesn't make much use of the gun, and I have my suspicions that it was shoehorned into an already completed script. The story is, like many early Superman stories, about Superman confronting a social ill and remedying it. In this case, Superman is up against illegal gambling. The story opens with Superman rescuing a suicide jumper, a scenario that continues to echo throughout Superman media. The jumper reveals that he jumped because he lost all he had at an illegal gambling den. Superman tries to bust the gambling den as Clark Kent, reporter, but his investigations are stymied by the mayor of Metropolis, who tips off the racketeers. Strange to think that the mayor of Metropolis would work with criminals before the mayor of Gotham, but there you have it. Although, in the mayor's defense, he's only working with criminals because they have his son. Lois tries infiltrating the club on her own, but she gets captured, and the racketeers force her to drink one of those super convenient memory-erasing drugs that only exists in pulp-derived media. Lois is effectively lobotomized, but Superman restores her memory with super hypnotism. And yes, that is a power Superman used to have. And now, at the climax, Superman finally brings out the crypto-ray gun. And boy, is that a much briefer description of how it works compared with the toy packaging. Superman uses the crypto-ray gun to gather evidence on the racketeers, but of course, that isn't going to solve the plot on its own. No one picked up this comic to see Superman defeat criminals by filming them. They picked up this comic to see Superman defeat criminals through a judicious application of violence. One fight scene later and the criminals are rounded up and exposed. The mayor's son is saved, the illegal gambling den shut down, and all's well that ends well. And there you have it. The crypto-ray gun, a small but interesting part of Superman's vast, vast history. Strange to think that Kryptonite, at the very beginning, was something that helped Superman instead of harmed him. Will the crypto-ray gun ever appear in Superman media again? I think someone should sneak it into a shot of the Fortress of Solitude. Put it on a shelf next to the bottled city of Kandor. Superman can use it to show all of Kandor little movies on the wall of their bottle. It would be cute.